it's Melissa. In this video, we are going to make inlay acrylic keychains, not just regular acrylic keychains, custom sublimated keychains. So we are going to go from this white acrylic to this sublimated acrylic to this. So get ready, because I am going to take you from printing out your sublimation tumbler wrap to how to sublimate onto acrylic to make totally custom patterns, whatever it is that you want. If you want your acrylic not to be white but to be anything else, this is it. And then how to cut that with your laser cutter and make them into stunning keychains. Totally customizable. Is this font not adorable? I've got details on all of this. Let's go. So the first thing that we are going to do is take a piece of acrylic. This is just white acrylic that I actually got off of Amazon. It's 3 millimeters. And I had printed out this sublimation piece, which actually I believe this is from a tumbler. So instead of using it as a tumbler wrap, I'm just sublimating directly onto the acrylic itself. Now, you don't want too much pressure, so you want light pressure, if you will. I did do this for about 45 to 60 seconds at 400 degrees. You do want to be careful because the acrylic gets really pliable when it's heated. So you have this careful balance between making sure that the sublimation transfers on there, and then also making sure that you are not overly heating the acrylic. I will tell you, mine, after the amount of time, it did get stuck to the top. When it came off, I had to kind of peel it off the top of the heat press, which is not a big deal at all, but you do want to lay it on something flat, and if you can, put something heavy on top. That's why I placed this bin that I have on top just to heat it. Leave it there until it cools. Now, I am going to tell you, the paper is going to get stuck to it. So what you are going to want to do is use some water. You can soak the entire piece if you want, or you can just use a wet cloth and try to wipe it off. It is not the neatest process, but it does work. The rest of your acrylic piece, while it doesn't look too pretty, it totally is fine to laser cut, and that is actually the next step. Now, before I laser cut it, what I'm going to do is actually mask it, and I do that with 3-inch wide painter's tape. And the only reason I do that is to avoid charring around the laser cut image itself. And I use 3-inch just so that I don't have to do so many strips. It pretty much covered the whole thing with just 2, as you can see. I did just fold it over the edges and it was fine. Now, I placed this in the bed of my X-Tool P2 before I actually designed. So once I was ready, then what I like to do is move into Silhouette Studio, and that is where I am actually going to design. So I'm going to open up the text tool and type out my name. So in this case, I was making a keychain for my daughter, Olivia, and the font that I am going to use is Good Vibes font. So this font is actually found on So Fancy in the premium font bundle, which I will link to as well. So I love this font. It's really easy to laser cut because it's just so chunky, has a really cute Good Vibes, vibe. So after I sized it, then I just added the offset. So the offset is really important because that is not only going to create the inlay, but it is also going to create the base. So you can increase the distance of the offset, and then what you want to do is make a duplicate. So the duplicate copy is going to be separated into 2 pieces. The full set is going to be the base. So I'm just going to fill that with a color to give you an idea. Then the letters themselves are what is going to be inlaid, and those I'm just going to fill with a pattern. Again, I'm just doing this for the visual. You actually can't, if you want to export this with these pattern fills, it gives you a lot of trouble opening in X-Tool Creative Space. So I take the patterns off before. But this last one, where it has both the offset and the image, and the text, what you want to do there is actually right click and create make a compound path, and that is going to be the frame. So it's kind of difficult to see in Silhouette Studio, but this middle piece here is actually transparent. So the tie-dye letters will go into the frame, and everything will sit on top of the base. I'm also going to use the Draw a Circle tool, and then if you have flexi shapes, they actually have like a little donut. I use that and only place it on one layer, just weld it together. So put the circle on there, select both the circle and that solid layer, and then that is going to be welded together. The reason that I do that is just to make it so that the keychain hardware can go through that. All right, now I am going to export as an SVG. As I said, you will want to do this without any type of fill in there. Open up Xtool Creative Space and import the image. When you do this, all three pieces of the SVG will come in, and then what you are able to do, I would not resize them unless you resize everything at the same time. So I move the base and the frame itself together, and then the letters are going to be cut separately. So the letters are what I actually am cutting on that sublimated acrylic, and then the base and the frame, what I'm calling the frame, are going to be cut on different acrylic. Now this acrylic, 3mm acrylic, really is ideally cut on a CO2 laser, which is what the Xtool P2 is. It cuts acrylic of all colors and transparencies, opacities with ease. And I'm just using the built-in default for acrylic. I am using white. You can use the same settings for both. You do just want to make sure that it's set to cut. And then it will begin processing. And both of them can be cut at the same time. So once it begins cutting, it's just going to take a couple of minutes. And then the next part is to literally assemble everything together. Okay, so gather all of your pieces. Just be aware, especially when it's something like this on the P2, some of the little pieces, specifically with the letters themselves, may have fallen through the grates. So you can grab those out of there easily. Now, there is acrylic glue that you can use to apply this all together, or you can just use something like E6000. I usually start by attaching the frame itself to the base, and then I find it easier, and there's many different ways to do this. I find it easier to put the letters in and then peel off the masking tape, but again, completely up to you, however you're going to get this all together. The final step is to just add whatever hardware it is that you want. You could do this exact same things on a smaller scale with earrings if you wanted, but they also, of course, make super cute keychains, and the possibilities of combinations, the two-tone combinations, are really, really endless. But again, if you're looking for this font, you can grab it from So Fontsy, the Good Vibes font from the premium font bundle. If that bundle has expired, the font is still available by itself. If you're looking for more on the P2, I have videos on that. If you're looking to add a 55-watt CO2 laser to your arsenal for your business, or even if you're a hobbyist, this is a really great one. I have found very few limitations with the P2. So specifically around acrylic, a lot of people get disappointed that they get a laser and then realize later, oh shoot, it's not capable of cutting acrylic, especially not easily. So P02, you won't have that problem. Links for that are in the description below as well.